guys, welcome back to my channel. First off, I want to say a big thank you to all of those that have been supporting me with this YouTube channel. I've been seeing it being shared on social media. I truly do appreciate it. And this video actually will be talking about my spinal cord injury, what happened that day of my car accident. So I've been getting this question asked a lot, like what happened to me? How did I get injured? So I went and go ahead and decided to do a whole video of it. Before my accident, I'm gonna go a little bit back. Before my accident, I was working as a correctional officer in Kingman, Arizona. My son would be living here in Phoenix, Arizona with my parents. So I would come every weekend to come and see him. It was very hard. It would get harder every week because I would get more hours. And me driving over here, leaving my house and stuff, it was very hard because I wanted to get home and sleep. But I wanted to see my son, so I would make the sacrifices of coming every weekend. But on August 22nd, 2016, that weekend, everything changed. That week, I had worked mandatory 16s, but my Friday, I had to work 19 hours. Being a correctional officer is it's a job where hours don't mean nothing. You can keep going all day. So it's very hard. It's really, really hard. But anyways, coming back from Kingman to see my son, I was very tired. Like I said, I was working 19 hours. I was very tired. I wanted to get home and sleep. But I had spoke to my mom earlier, and my son said he wanted to see me. So I decided to come that week, and I got home because normally I would come with my correctional officer suit to Phoenix, Arizona. I would drive like that. I wouldn't get home or anything. But that day I just decided to go home, take a shower, regular clothes on, and decided to drive over to Phoenix, Arizona. That day was it was kind of hot. It was not that cold. So I put on like a tank top and some shorts and sandals. I remember, well, I got out of the shower, I hopped in the car, I started driving, and I got a text message from my lieutenant saying, like, have a nice drive. I was going over speed. People who have been in Wickenburg, it's a place where there's like no houses, no cars, no anything. There's only a big long road. And I was driving, and I remember getting that text message from my lieutenant, and I looked at the phone. I was driving very tired, and it was raining. So I guess it all became one. But I lost control. I lost control of the vehicle. I didn't have my seatbelt on, so that's one of the things too. It is very hard for me to say the story without feeling like I want to cry, but it's almost going to be 2 years. I've overcome a lot of things. So I just remember waking up and I was on the floor. So I was injected out of the vehicle. The vehicle was upside down. When they first got whenever like everybody got there, the vehicle was upside down and the wheels were spinning so fast. But I was on the floor. I remember just waking up on the floor, like it was pour raining, and I remember waking up in the floor and looking at the car. It was just like, oh my God, what's going on? I remember trying pushing the floor down so I could get up, and instantly I knew something's wrong. I remember looking back, and there was a white car, and it had like a lot of people in the car. I remember seeing a girl and a guy and many other people. I don't remember the gender, but I remember seeing a lot of people. And one of the guys said, "Hey, I'm a paramedic, you'll be fine." And I was just kind of like, okay. So I remember him asking me, do you have a family member I can contact? I said, yeah, I'm gonna give you my mom's number. And I gave him my mom's number. He contacted her. Um, it went straight to voicemail. And I remember leaving a voicemail to her. I was on the floor when this was happening. I remember leaving that voicemail and just saying, "Hey, Mom, I was in a car accident. I'll meet you at the hospital." Um, Me leaving that voicemail meant so much to me because I knew she was going to get heartbroken. I left her the voicemail, and I remember the paramedic saying, "I'm going to call 911. He called 911. I remember police arriving, ambulance arriving there. And when I got in the ambulance, I remember it was just like, I never expected to be in an ambulance. I never expected that. I remember the doctors just saying, "We gotta go to the nearest medical center. She's dying." All I could think about for me at the moment was my son. My son to me was the one in my mind and thinking like, what's gonna happen to him? And when arriving to the medical center, I remember just hearing people saying, "She's not gonna make it. She's not gonna make it. She's lost a lot of blood." And then I hear one of the doctors say, "We don't have that spinal cord surgery here. You would have to take her to Vegas." Remember, I crashed in Wickenburg. It was almost close to Phoenix. So going all the way to Vegas for me was like a lifetime. I thought to myself, "Oh my God, I'm not gonna make it." So I remember hearing someone say, "We gotta put her in a helicopter as soon as possible because she will be dying." And I was very scared. I was panicking and my heart rate started going up. And the doctor said, "We're not trying to scare you, but we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there." And I remember one of the nurses says, "We can't promise her that." And to me it was like, oh my God, nobody's promising me anything now. When we got in the helicopter, I did pray. All I could say was, "Please, please let me make it out of here." It was a very hard situation to be in because you don't know what's going on. Everything's happening so fast. You don't even know who's going to be at the hospital. They're going to be able to protect you. I remember getting in the helicopter. I've never been in a helicopter. I was always afraid. And I remember they were trying to still for me to keep talking. And I remember the guy that was in the helicopter with me, he asked me, "Have you ever been in a helicopter?" And I was like, "No, but this is my first time, my first and last." And he said, no, we're not going to think this is your last." And I'm looking at him like, "Tell me the truth. Tell me the truth. Don't tell me I'm going to live because I don't know at this point." When we get to the real hospital in Las Vegas, where they're going to perform the surgery on me, I closed my eyes and I started praying. That's all I kept thinking, like, let's pray. And I kept praying to God and asking him to give me one more chance, one more time to see life again. I actually didn't think I was paralyzed, but I did. It was just like a big moment for me to say, "I don't care how you leave me. Just let me live one more time." I remember arriving to the hospital and just praying, right? And when getting to the hospital, for me felt like a little bit, but then it felt like a lifetime, like, if you know what I mean. And moments when I was alone, it felt like I was there for a long time. I remember I was in that bed and thinking about my mom a lot. Out of the nowhere, I closed my eyes again. That's all I kept doing, just closing my eyes and praying. That's all I was doing. and I hear someone, um, when she gets close to me and grabs my face, that was it to me. It was my mom. It was my mom, and me looking at her, crying, seeing the way I was in that bed. I know she thought so many things in her mind, never this. But I remember her kissing me and telling me everything was going to be okay. And I felt it. I felt like everything was going to be okay. And I went into surgery. I was very scared because they had to read me all the things that could happen in the surgery because I was conscious. So I remember the doctor saying, there's many possible ways the surgery can go. You can either do good or do bad. You can lose a lot of blood. You already lost enough. You could lose more blood and die. Or you can go ahead and live through the surgery. To me was, oh my God, I have two choices out of my plate right now. Either I die or I live, but it's not up to me. So I closed my eyes. I started praying one more time, and I said, God, these doctors are in your hands. Their hands are in your hands. Whatever happens, happens. After 2 hours and 30 minutes, I come out of surgery, hearing the doctors I was gonna live was a big change for me. Was, oh my God, I did it. I remember when I got out, days like that went by, probably like 2 or 3 days went by, and I was just not speaking. I remember that. I remember seeing all my little cousins, and I was happy to see them, but they couldn't stay much. Like, they couldn't stay and see me as much because I was very, very injured. But I remember I wanted to see them. And I remember I wanted to see my son. That was one thing. I was like, I want to see my son, but he couldn't come in. He was too little. When they went ahead and moved me to another room, which it was the recovery room. That was not a recovery room at all. For me, that was the most painful recovery room ever. I had to literally prepare myself to go to the last room, and that was the one you're going to go home with. At this point, I don't even know what's going on with me. But when one doctor comes in and tells me, you won't be walking again, everything sunk in. Everything was like, you gotta be kidding me. And I remember just crying and crying because I couldn't believe it. Hearing that there's no possibility at all was very, very dramatic. Family members would come and visit me, and I would look away, I feel like I was gonna be weird, a girl in a wheelchair. And many people tried giving me food, bringing me food, and I couldn't eat anything. It was very hard for me. Just hearing it at night, everything was so quiet, and I could be thinking, like, I was just walking last night. How are you gonna come and tell me I can't walk today? But it was true. It happened. So I looked at the doctor, the one that did my surgery, and I looked at him. I said, I'm ready. I'm ready to go home. I'm ready to leave this hospital behind. And he said, okay, you're literally gonna sign yourself out. I'm not letting you out. You're signing yours. I said, okay, that's okay. I signed myself out. I came home, and I felt like I started gaining more strength from the people that have been supporting me, loving me. and dealt with my tantrums every day. I have a really, really good support system, and I wouldn't change it for anything. So this is why I knew this video was going to be long, because I wanted to get detailed with you guys. And if you guys have any questions, go ahead and comment below. I will be making more videos, so stay tuned for that. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel.